In this episode, I find an awesome trail to ride. I explore a rocky sidetrack, go through some water crossings, hang out with a seal, and camp on a secluded beach. Morning. Surprisingly, it's quite pleasant. It's 16 degrees, about 7:30 in the morning, so it's going to be a warmer one for New Zealand, which is great. I've been debating whether to put thermals on or not. I don't think I'm going to. One thing I have to do before leaving Christchurch is get a new back tyre, as it is just about worn down and I've got a few thousand kilometres to go. Well, it's been an epic time hanging out with Dylan. One thing I did forget to do, being Australian, gave him no nickname. So his nickname is Bob.
Oh.
Because it's the only thing I can think of.
It sucks.
And it sucks, so it's appropriate.
Nice.
That's what a nickname is. Anyway, so yeah, it's been an epic couple of days riding around. Thanks for showing us the area.
Thanks for coming along.
And
Great
fixing a few little things on the bike that were my fault. And yeah, so we're going to head north from here.
Bloody
got
good.
any suggestions?
Keep the rubber to the road. That's pretty much all I got.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to get on the road now. I headed off, riding about 5 kilometres to the motorbike store that had a back tyre that would fit. While they were sorting out the tyre, I had a quick look in the store, as they had a few interesting bikes. An old Norton. This custom Royal Enfield with its funky exhaust. But this is more my style, a classic 500 with knobblies and in army green. I'm not sure how long this exhaust would last in this pristine condition if I got my hands on it, and out the back, a total Skunks Works project. I know the fuel tank's off a Himalayan, but the rest, they had got the new tyre sorted. So I also had to get another tube, as when I did get the flat tyre, as I went across the road and back, because it was too dangerous to be on that side of the road, it spun the wheel and ripped the valve out. So if you get flat, pull over straight away if you can. I was just in a bit of a dangerous situation. I made sure everything else was still secure, then headed off through Christchurch. I made a quick stop to fill up. It looked like Christchurch was getting a new stadium. I made my way through Christchurch, out onto the motorway, heading north. I was heading to the town of Oxford. I made it to Oxford. Well, Oxford Cemetery to be exact. When I was coming out of Rainbow Road, there was a GPX file I was going to do in the afternoon, but I just didn't have enough time. But as I'm coming north, I'm going to do the track, but the other way around. Again, I'm not really sure what it's like, but the description said it was a four-wheel drive track. There was a deeper crossing if it's heavy rain, but as with the other tracks around here, especially yesterday, there was no water and one of the rivers was supposed to cross. So I don't think I'll be dealing with too deep a water. Probably none. We'll find out what it's like and then continue heading north. And I'll get to see what this new tyre, the Pirelli Scorpion A-T all-terrain maybe, is like. Should be a lot better than the baldish one I had just this morning. I double checked the map to work out where the trail started. Then headed off. There were a few warning signs, which makes for an interesting ride. I started climbing. wound its way around the hills that dropped down into the valley, following the snaking path of the river below. I pulled over to check out the horseshoe bend in the river. A river will always find the path of least resistance, even if not the most direct path. The road started to drop down to the river below. I saw a sidetrack, so I took it. It got fairly rocky. How's this trail? It's stunning. Just winding its way along this ridge, and I'm just in the first half. It seems that the first bit's quite windy, and then it straight going north for a bit, and then it sort of gets through another range and drops back down. What a little gem so far. No, haven't come across anybody, and it's just picturesque and peaceful, I'd say. New Zealand doing it again. Look, I just thought it was maybe a bit of a dirt road, a bit of farm stuff. I can't wait to see what the rest of this little track is like. I think it's 76 kilometres and probably gone in 4. Wow. I made my way back onto the main track. Another river creates another valley, and when people need to get through it, creates another track for me to ride. Started to descend down the other side of the range, down into Lees Valley. With no guardrails, you can see this isn't a tourist drive. I had made it to the valley floor. The next section consisted of long straights running alongside the farms in the valley. I came upon an open gate that said, "Please shut the gate." Normally you leave gates how you find them, but as this one was half open, I decided to shut it. Came across a fork in the road, so I went right. Then I came to a water crossing, which dropped sharply in the middle to about 3 feet deep. I decided to try the other track, so I turned around. See, that proves my theory. Always choose left. The track started to wind its way back over the same range, but this time towards the east and further north. It is bone dry out here, except where the river runs down below. It was good that there was a second option with that river crossing. The first one was probably 2.5 to 3 feet deep right in the middle bit, so if I dropped it I would have submerged the bike, and being by myself, yeah, not so much fun. So, I mean, you might have liked to see it and it would have been a little dramatic, but I took the second option and dry boots for the first time, I think, going across a river, so that's good. This next section looks cool. It just switches back, left, right, up, right to the top of the hill. Should be fun. I've just got to watch out for the cow dungs that are along this track. Just don't want that stinking up the bike when I camp tonight. I made it to the top, which seems to be the local hangout for the cows. I went through another water crossing, and the one thing I was trying to miss, I hit dead on. Yep, I couldn't have been more accurate. The track led into a pine forest, which was green and lush. It was in total contrast to what I'd just ridden through. I had made it to the end of the track. Not really sure where to go next. I pulled over, had a quick look at the maps, and decided to head for the beach. I found a spot that looked like I could camp. I got back onto the main highway again. Then I made the turn off towards the coastline. The road soon turned to dirt. Well, this is the campsite for the night. Not too bad. I said I wanted to camp on the beach or near the beach, and this will do. There's no one else here. It's really quiet. There's a couple of birds making some noise, but I was a little worried about the wind coming in. Like along the highway it's quite blowy, but there's a whole mountain or hill behind me, and hopefully that will stop any of that really strong wind hitting here. It is the afternoon, it's still offshore, so I gather it won't change. But yeah, not too shabby. Might have an explore once I get my tent up. And I've just spotted a seal in the ocean. At first I thought it was a fin. It's over there. So that's camp set up. I do have a small issue. It's not really an issue. I've lost some weight and my pants keep falling down. Even buttoned up, they just fall down. So I'm gonna have to try and find a belt or a piece of string so I can, yeah. You don't need to see it. Now I'm going to have a bit of an explore. My tent and bike sat alone on the embankment. Lucky I've got a long lens. What I thought was a log up ahead is actually a seal. Oh, I get too close. The seal looks like it's living its best life. It's gone back to laying down. I didn't get too close, I didn't want to annoy it. Sort of put its head up for a bit and then a sticky beak, make sure I wasn't coming too close, and then went, meh, I'm going back to sleep. What am I going to do tomorrow? I was heading further north to check out some seals. Done that now. Sure, I'll find something to do. How funky looking is this seaweed? It's like a black green. It looks very alien-like and more like leather and pliable and all that, but it's actually really brittle. And for all the rock doctors out there, geologists, up this end there's a cliff and it's quite white. Is that chalk, not sandstone? Not sure. Someone can tell me. And there's also, on top of the hill, there's another, I guess it's the same stuff, but there's a lot more grey in it up there with these formations. Obviously worn down over time from the weather, from that very big ocean to my left. And of course the rain. The bottom bit's getting hit by the ocean, and those top ones obviously worn down by the water from the rain. I wasn't actually that sure about today. Like last night I thought, oh, if I go along this coast, they say there's a good chance of seeing a seal. Got that. But then this morning I remembered that GPX file, the one I'd missed on the way basically down from the rainbow track. And yeah, that was really good. I'm glad I didn't miss it this time. Just wound its way up and down, and then yeah, it's just really good, and ending up here. Not a bad day. So tomorrow I might actually be heading south and inland. There's another trail, not the rainbow, but another one that's pretty famous, but it's been closed because you see how dry everything is. It's going to open up in a couple of days, so, and only for 4 days. So I'm going to see if I can snavel that, see what that one's like. But now I'm just going to chill out, watch the ocean. Actually, I might go back down the beach and do that. But first, dinner. Egg sandwiches from the gas station. That'll be fine. Then I did what can be rare these days. Sit on an empty beach doing absolutely nothing.
Oh my love, you're such a fragile thing, I know. And with the winter comes the ice, the snow.
In the next episode, I have an early start and get to see the skies light up. I ride through another incredible valley. I get chased by a rainbow. The skies open up over a stunning landscape, and I end up somewhere fancy.
The trees haven't started to shed, Just feel the summer sun as it warms.